What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So earlier on today, we saw the crypto flash crash. Many people were ecstatic thinking, oh my gosh, crypto is falling, it's crashing, we need to sell out. Well, I want to explain why we saw this, what you should do, because there's a lot of skepticism right now around everything. So I want to break this down, explain what's going on, what you should be doing, and also I'm going to give you an idea of what I did this morning as well. So make sure you guys stick around to the end of this video, and I will address everything that I just discussed. Now, here's what happened. Earlier this morning, we saw crypto completely sell off. Bitcoin got into the $43,000 range. Ethereum dropped under 3,600. Even Litecoin dropped into the $155 range. Now, there's more coins out there, so don't get me wrong, these are not just the only three, but these are some of the more popular coins, and these are some of the ones that obviously they're on Robinhood, so just the everyday average trader is trading these. So here's what happened. The overall crypto markets dropped by more than 20%. Look at this. Look at this right here. Bitcoin, it lost $10,000 or 17% in just 24 hours. But why? Why did all of this happen? Well, I'm going to explain that. Why did we see a crypto flash crash? Well, crypto actually crashed or fell for a few different reasons. Now, I'm not going to say this was a crash. I'm not going to say sell everything, get out of the markets because it's crashing. It's going to turn to zero. That's not what I'm saying. The entire crypto market sold off. I'm going to give you three different reasons. Number one, and these are not in any order, is because of the nerves in the market. This was one of the main reasons. Right now, all eyes are on the US, Canada, Germany, right? What we are seeing is actually, could we see increased inflation? Or, and this would be bad for crypto, is do we see deflation over the next few months or potentially over the next couple of years? What I can tell you, what many people are worried about is rising inflation. And this is actually causing central banks to tighten their monetary policy, which will reduce liquidity that once lifted all of these assets. So if you remember back when here in the United States, we were sending out $1,400 stimulus checks, right? People on unemployment were getting $300 per month, or actually per week, or $1,200 per month to stay on unemployment and collect their state unemployment benefits. All this increased inflation. And so that actually increased the amount that Bitcoin was worth, Ethereum, right? All the different coins, everything just went up. So that's one reason why that we are seeing a little bit of nervousness, uncertainty. So keep that in mind. The second reason why, markets also show uncertainty around Omicron. Nobody knows right now what to make of Omicron. Are we seeing cases increase? Is this going to be more detrimental and dangerous than the Delta COVID variant? Will this push additional lockdowns here in the United States? Over in the UK, we're already seeing this. We're already seeing this over in Europe. We are already seeing this around the country, around the world. We're seeing places locked down. But kind of in the same tone, our government's going to step in, and provide additional stimulus. We don't know. If governments add more stimulus to what we already have, this is going to increase inflation, which would be good for crypto. Or are we going to see that the Omicron variant turns into pretty much nothing? It's just another new variant, poses little additional risk than the Delta COVID variant. But here's the problem. The uncertainty is what puts everything in question. How do we move forward? Nobody knows. Nobody really knows. Third reason why crypto sold off earlier on this morning is because investors reduced leverage as a precaution. I say this all the time, and when stocks were going up, when crypto was going up, guess what? I wasn't holding. No, and people would say, "Oh, you're not going to hold it." No, I'm not going to hold it. I'm going to take some of my profits off the table, and I'm going to reduce my exposure to the markets. So investors lost a lot of money this past week in the stock market. Guess what? They are probably looking at their investments. They're trying to figure out a way to reduce their exposure. So what do? Well, they reduce their leverage. The only problem with that is that when many investors are deciding to reduce leverage around the same time, which they kind of did, this ultimately caused a massive crash. Well, I want to read this statement, okay? I think this is extremely important. Now, here's the statement. Now, let me put myself out of the way. The evidence points to this being yet another derivative-induced selling event. The September flash crash had the same drivers as this sell-off. Leverage was flushed from the system in a violent fashion, which later enabled the market to eventually move higher towards a new all-time high in October. Okay, great. Well, let me show you this, okay? I want to show you let me show you the chart. Look at this, okay? Here's what I want to show you. This is, okay, I'll point to a couple different areas right here. That's one. This came around, I believe, September 7th or 8th. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's about where it was. That was one crash right there. We saw another one right about here. This happened, I believe, somewhere around September 19th to 21st. Again, don't quote me on that one. And then I'll point to another one right here. These were 3 different September crashes, right? But here's what you need to understand. They came down, right? You see it here. They come down here, right? Levels off a little bit. This one right over here, it came down, okay? Came down a little bit, right? Or went up, came down right here, right? And leveled out here. Now, here's what I want you to understand, and here's what I expect to happen, okay? So, what I would anticipate to see, and we kind of already saw it. You can see it over here, right? But what you can expect to see happen is we could potentially see this market sell down again, okay? We could potentially see it come down even more than where it is currently right now. I think it sits, I believe we're like 48,000. Don't quote me on that as I'm making this video. But again, here's what I expect. I anticipate to see more of a sell-off. I honestly do. I think we will see more of a sell-off, but I want to explain why, okay? One of the things that I expect to happen is and let's go back to the chart again, I expect somewhere around here, okay, around that 41.7 mark. You can see I have it pointed out right over there, 41.7. What I can tell you right now is if we touch those lines again over the next few days and we bounce up, that is a good sign. However, if we don't bounce up and we actually drop below the support, here's what could happen, okay? I want to show you this other chart. I want to show you this chart for one main reason, okay? This number right over here. You can see kind of where that is coming out, right about here. We keep on touching off of that number, 32.6. My next target, okay, if we break through the support of about 42,000, that's 41.7 or I believe on the other chart. If we break through that, my expectation is, okay, we're gonna go a little bit further because again, here we go. Here's about the 42 mark over there. Okay, so if we break through that, come down. My guess is the next stopping point is going to be about that 32, maybe that 35 area, somewhere right about here. Okay, so I'm not saying this is going to happen. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news here, but I just want to be upfront with you guys. This is what I could see happening. And again, that is not a bad idea. That's not bad because look, okay, I want to show you this chart again. Here it is. So I want to show you this chart one more time. Now, here's what I can tell you, okay? Here's what I can tell you. Let's get rid of these lines really quick. Here's what I can tell you right here. If we see, okay, if we see it drop, let's say into that 30, let's say into that $35,000 range, guess what? It's going to come back. It happens all the time that we're up at these highs and it drops down. Guess what? Then we see it just take off. Okay? We see it just take off. I don't expect crypto to go to zero. I don't expect Bitcoin to drop to zero. I just don't expect it. Okay? It could. I highly doubt it. Now, here's what I'm doing. Here's what I did this morning. What I end up doing this morning, I end up buying Bitcoin. I nibbled in pretty much on a lot of things. Bitcoin was one. I purchased Bitcoin when it was about 46.5. So I'm doing pretty well right now. I ended up purchasing Ethereum once it dropped below 4. It was just a little below 4. That's usually where I like to buy in, anything under 4. So I didn't get in when it was very low, but I got in a little bit under 4. So it's pretty good. I think that was a good buy. I think $4,000 for Ethereum is a great buy. Okay. I think that's undervalued. Bitcoin at 46.5 again. I think that's a good value. I think it's good value. Could it drop? Yes. But could it also take off? Yes, it could. So here's what I recommend to you guys. If you want to get in slowly. If you are worried about Bitcoin, Ethereum, right, all the different coins, just understand, we see these peaks, we see massive sell-offs. It is very volatile. Just understand that. So if you are worried about trading crypto, just understand, if you are looking at every single minute, it's probably going to drive you crazy. But if you can understand the numbers, understand the supports, understand where we're seeing resistance, right? We broke through 68, but we didn't get much higher than that. So, could that be our resistance? Possibly. But we're also seeing some resistance right about that 58,000 range. So just understand that could be that new number. Okay, so if we're seeing anything between 46, 45 to about 58, right? You got to make that assessment. Is that a good risk versus reward for you? So again, that's what we know as this time. That is why, in my opinion, we saw crypto sell off this morning. I think we are going to rebound. I think we should most likely go into the end of this year. We could see some up and down days over the next week, but my guess is once this Omicron variant, or at least more information comes out about it, that would most likely either stabilize the market, we'd see crypto shoot up, or if things get really bad, we could see it obviously fall. I don't expect it's going to fall, but again, as I know more, I promise I'll come back on and fill you in on all the latest news and updates. But I just wanted to provide you with this quick little update because I know a lot of people are worried. So again, if you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. Again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.